to be fair, The Rock's had a good week, I thought, and it's good stuff. It's nice synergy, I think.
It is. Look, I stand by having said in this podcast that he will never do WrestleMania. So we're not there yet. So let's start emailing in. They've done a good turnaround on that. I mean, they really have done a great turnaround on something which they pretend was all part of the plan, but definitely wasn't, which is that everyone would reject Rock. It has been so good for Cody Rhodes. That's been the incredible thing about watching this. It's the big thing about you can't have a huge star unless you have a huge opponent for them to go against. And Roman Reigns is a huge opponent, but at the same time, he's going against Roman Reigns and The Rock. And that has been the thing that's really, really helped him. A lot of people still buzzing around and saying they've not 100% announced the tag match yet. So there is a chance that they might do a singles match, The Rock and Cody Rhodes on the first night, which would be thrilling. But I have a feeling like The Rock, he's canny enough to know that, that could go disastrously wrong.
It could go disastrously wrong, but I just think if it is going to go disastrously wrong, it'll go disastrously wrong on Rhodes' side somehow. He'll get there eventually, but I just think he'll pull his peck off again.
Yeah. Big splotch. Splotch. But look, anyway. We're going to be getting to see that. What a honour and a priv. I think we were the only people in the world who came out of WrestleMania last year and were like, that was brilliant. Yeah. That was brilliant that Cody didn't win. And this just ramps it up. And
we were shitted, to be fair.
We were really drunk.
Absolutely. Drunker than we were the night before.
Yeah, but it's like they say, isn't it? People, it's like people who are racist when they drink. You go, well, drink doesn't make you racist.
No.
You've always been racist. Drink didn't make us right, Pete.
No, we're always right. We're always right. We were just right and louder.
Make it clear as well, we weren't racist.
That was a bit.
And racism is not right.
Yeah.
I wish I hadn't started. Okay, so.
And truth be told, I'm not a very big fan of the black people.
I am so excited because we are going to be going to Big Philadelphia, I call it. Big Philadelphia.
Yeah, Big Philly. Big Philly style.
Could you notice if I'd forgotten the name of the place we were going?
Yeah,
all I needed was the word big to give me that little extra bit of thinking time.
Yeah, it's big, but it's not as big as the Big Apple. It's a smaller apple. It's you can put it on cheesesteak.
And we are going to get to see someone that neither of us have seen before, and that is Blue Cane.
Blue Cane. I can't help but think the way that Blue Cane appeared on the scene with his snore and stuff. Yeah. I just don't think they will have. I don't know who's in there. I don't know who's in the costume, but I don't think they will have planned it very well, and they'll get kicked out before it starts. I don't know why. I just get the sense.
The problem is if you're working at Philadelphia,
comedy character.
It is. If you're working at Philadelphia as well, they do ask you, "What are you here for?" And the problem is if you turn up and you're like 6'3", they might be going, seems like this guy might be here. He could just be a wrestling fan, but there's no harm in, and you would sort of go, I suppose a lot of wrestling fans, you would open up their briefcases and there would be belts in there. And you just have to go, I'm a big nerd and everything. And they're going, so you got a mask in here and some really ratty bodysuit. Is this some kind of snow manufacturing unit?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It just seems like he might get into trouble.
Thankfully, because of the costume, you can just give it to someone else and we can still have the match.
Take it in bits. Yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah,
he's going to be performing at Joey Janela's Spring Break show, and he's taking on Matt Cardona. Matt Cardona has been asking for this match, someone to make the match for months, based on the fact that when he was in the WWE, he had a sort of, it wasn't so much of a feud with Kane as he was victimized by Kane, famously pushed off a ramp while he was in a wheelchair. So I imagine we'll be watching that. We'll be getting to see that. That is definitely going to be a spot in that match. Yeah. And the most exciting thing really is a show that I wasn't very excited about, which is Bloodsport. And we're off to see that. It's done by a guy called Josh Barnett, who was a MMA fighter, became a very good pro wrestler, did sporadic stuff for New Japan. And he's just a very good feel for wrestling. Getting on a bit now. But he has, last year, they had Kota Ibushi in one of Kota Ibushi's sort of few matches, having left New Japan. And that was the hottest ticket in town. And this year, I was like, well, we've got tickets for it. But I was looking at the lineup and I was a bit like, oh, no. This is on at the same time as Stardom. And I was a bit like, should we get Stardom tickets as well? I've muffed this right up. And then last week, he announced that Shayna Baszler is going to be taking part in Bloodsport. Now, Josh Barnett had trained Baszler in MMA stroke pro wrestling as well. And what's really interesting about this is Shayna Baszler is a WWE superstar. And what it marks is the first time, with the exception of like Booker T has a small promotion in Texas where they'd lent someone. This is the first time where the WWE have actually started working with an outside promotion, in this case GCW, to loan their superstars for their big shows. Never happened before. And it's believed to be a bit of a Triple H decision. Now that McMahon is gone, something that Vince McMahon would never have allowed. Yeah. And Triple H is going, well, if there's people who aren't on WrestleMania necessarily, well, why not? Why not take them out there? Why not a lot of the good guys?
Fortifies their weekend as well. You know, it's WrestleMania weekend. It's not AEW's all-in weekend, is it?
No, exactly. And I was really excited. And they've said there's going to be some more people coming in. And that show sold out, you know, immediately. That was, you know, but what it is, it's become a sort of historically important event that's going to be sort of fascinating. Whether or not it'll lead to lots more, who knows? But that idea of a wrestling that isn't constrained simply by, you know, gatekeeping is really, really thrilling. And it's not like people are going to go, well, you know, Shayna Baszler's not on WrestleMania. Well, I'm not going. You know, it's just a good thing to do with people who you can go, you know what? We're not utilizing you at a top level. Why don't you go out and have a bit of fun this weekend? And so I'm really excited about that now. There's so much I'm excited about, Pete. I can't tell you. I cannot wait till we're there, and I will never, ever come home. Make that absolutely clear.
Yeah, I'm gonna wrestle for the WWE. I've decided. It's going to be my big chance.
Oh, well, I tell you what, Pete, you wouldn't be the first WWE superstar I've been hanging out with this week.
Oh, God. What have you done? Mark, what have you been making your threats again?
I got to interview Becky Lynch, but the Irish Independent. I've written an article for them, and she's just written her autobiography, and so managed to wheedle our way in, Pete, to getting to talk to Becky Lynch. And I didn't do that in front of her, I'll tell you that. Never going to be doing that again, Pete, because I thought she was absolutely brilliant. She was so delightful to meet. And I underestimated the fact that someone like Becky Lynch, when you put her in that interview scenario, her eloquence is absolutely staggering. I was writing it down, and it felt like you were writing a sort of like a Booker Prize winner. The things she said, you're like, I don't think I've ever spoken to someone who actually speaks so beautifully. There was a line she was talking about. She was saying she really wanted to go and visit her brother in Kerry. He's moved down to Kerry. And she was saying it's so beautiful down there. She said, but the problem is, you know, the time comes round and I never get time. I've never got enough time. And I've not had enough time for a long time. And she just sort of said that, and I was like,
threw that out.
That sounds like a sort of like album title, you know? Not enough time for a long time. And it was just again and again and again, she would hit lines like that were totally unrehearsed, and she's just incredibly on the ball. I did ask her whether she still likes wrestling as much as she did when she was 15. And I'm aware that all my questions make me sound, you'd listen to them and just go, is this man all right? Is he had a head injury? But she sort of said, do you know what? She said, the saddest thing is, by doing it professionally, she said, I can't really watch wrestling anymore because I'm just critical about it. And I'm looking at it and going, oh, you know, they could have done this, they could have done that. Oh, I'd hate it if that happened to me. Oh, should we take that? And she was just like, I would love to be able to go back to how it was. And I listened to that and I just thought, that's why, Pete, if Blue Cane is sent back from Philadelphia, I will not be putting on the costume. I'm not going to have wrestling ruined for me.
Crossing those ropes.
I was actually embarrassed to listen back to it, but I did at the end say, well, I'll think next time I see you, you'll be at WrestleMania, and I'll be there as a fan in the stands. And she went, oh, brilliant, you know, great. And I said, and I'll be cheering even louder for you than I was last year as a result of this. I then held up the engagement ring I bought.
Marky Mark.
I may not have a finishing move as devastating as Seth Rollins is the curb stomp, but I've got over £400 in the savings account.
Oh no.
Huh. I don't know. That's a good one.